What's going on, guys? Rannerz here. Today we got the 442 custom tactics. I can promise you, you ain't seen nothing like this. These are a bit out there. They're a bit out there, but trust me, give them a go before you judge, okay? Now, can we get 150 likes? This is a juicy tactics video, so I think that should be doable. Hopefully we can get there. We've hit pretty much nearly every like target recently. I appreciate that support. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Are you fed up of coming against God Squad game in and game out?
What?
If so, make sure to head over to u7buy.com using the link in the description below. And don't forget to use code RAN at checkout for an extra little discount. So here we have my classic team as per. I've a lot of my coins like investing and stuff, so my team isn't getting upgraded for a little bit. So just kind of chilling with this now. If you want to see that team video, I've already done it, so we're not going to spend time on team. This video is all about the 442 tactics, but of course there is a few other things. We got the ultra defensive, the classic, the 4-2-3-1, same on every video. We're going to fly through it. Drop back, 50 width, 30 depth, the slow build up, the possession with time wasting. We're winning the game. This is only for if you're winning the game up 2 or 3 goals at the end of the match. Standard width, low players in the box, corners, and free kicks. Instructions, pretty self-explanatory. Striker, get in behind. Easy. Come back on defense on all the players. Stay back on the center players. Stay back on the fullbacks. Pretty simple. Now, onto the defensive 4-4-2. So this is kind of how we start off. And this is how I would start the game. It's what I play the majority of the game with. I recommend you guys do it too. Just to quickly cover something because people are asking me this in the comments. So ultimately here you see 4-1-2-1-2. And for anybody asking, formation you pick at the start is just to maximize chemistry. You don't play this formation in game. So if a 4-5-1 gets you better chemistry, for example, you use that formation, you build your team, you do that, and then you hit L2 and you go down to custom tactics. And then press L2 again, you go to whatever formation you want, and here is where you have the tactics. And then in game you just hit left twice on the D-pad, put your mentality to defensive, and put it to exactly these custom tactics. Hopefully that explained it for anybody who didn't know. But anyways, let's get into it. So defensive style, to start off, we're gonna stick with balance. The width, pretty standard stuff here. Watch the other videos, you guys know I like my whip to be on 50, perfectly balanced, especially on a 4-4-2. It is a balanced formation by default, no need to really mess with anything. Depth here, you can go for a lower or higher depth. That is merely personal preference for me. 50 pretty standard. With how the game is this year, especially on next gen, your team drops back. If you're playing old gen like PS4, you can maybe drop this a little bit lower if you would prefer. Build up play here, we're going to be sticking to balance, nothing too crazy. Keep it on balance. Chance creation, however, does change. We opted for direct passing here. So what that means is once you do get into the attacking third, there will be a lot more movement than usual. You do kind of need that extra movement. I find it a lot harder to kind of score if you don't have this movement, unless you're merely setting up finesse shots. If you want to purely play for those finesse shots, balance will work. For me, I want a bit more movement. Direct passing is the one for me. Next up, we got width. Once again, with the 4-4-2 being so balanced, I like personally to keep the width at 50. You can go with 70, and that does make your team really wide, and it is good for going down the line, but then inside it kind of gets hard to get attacking opportunities. Your left and right mid will never really get shooting opportunities at all if you do that, but it can definitely spread out your opponent's team and kind of create a bit more space. So that's up to you. Players in the box, just 3. This is because I only really have my 2 strikers in the box is all I want. The center mids I want to stay on the edge of the box at max, if not even further back. Left and right mids to kind of stay outside the box as well. They're merely facilitators trying to get the ball into my strikers. Next up, let's go over here. So let's just explain this real quick once again. So here is where you pick your formation. Doesn't matter what your starting formation is. That's just to maximize chemistry. Here you can pick whatever formation you want to play in game. I'm going to go ahead, press X to select that formation. Then you hit triangle or Y on Xbox and you can move the players around. So if this was somebody else, I can put it here. So here, if my team was set up like this, on the album, I obviously want to play him in midfield and I want Rannerz to be right mid. Select them, move them. Easy. On to the instructions. We've opted for different instructions on either of the strikers. So personally, Rashford, not that good at scoring compared to my human Son. So I've put him as the comeback on defense player. What you want to kind of have as the comeback on defense player is somebody that has a low star weak foot and has the lower shooting. So here I have Rashford, 3-star weak foot, still decent shooting but not as high as Son. Whereas Son, 5-star weak foot and high shooting, he's going to be my main striker. So that allows Rashford to drop. And beside him, then we have Son on stay forward. This almost acts like a 4-2-3-1 when this happens. It is that outlet pass that you have. Rashford helps a bit defensively, but is also the first option you're looking for when you start those counterattacks. He picks the ball up in space. As well as that, why this then becomes better than 4-2-3-1 is once you've went up the pitch and you've done your attack, Rashford does slot back in. The left striker, and then you have these two players in the box. You want to hold the ball with your left mid, your center mid, driven pass into your strikers. Do like one skill move, maybe a shot cancel, create that space, and then just get your shot off. If you stuck with the 4-2-3-1, like I said, it's similar to because of the comeback on defense, well then you still have the cam at the edge. You only have one option in the box. It's harder to create that chance. Over here on the left mid, we got stay forward on St. Maximum. Same with the right mid, Rannerz, stay forward. So basically, if you can imagine it, you win the ball back, you try to get the ball to Rashford because he's my comeback on defense striker, and you're going to see Son straight in front of you. You're going to see my Maximum here on the left. He's on stay forward, so he's not super deep, so he's an option as well. And Rannerz will be moving up the pitch on the right as well. So I've got my three options. Or I can just dribble up the pitch with Rashford if I don't get pressed. So that's what you should be looking for. In midfield, I've opted for Wijnaldum on stay back cover center and De Bruyne on balanced cover center. Now, this is purely because I have De Bruyne. If you don't have somebody with the shooting capability of De Bruyne, put them both on stay back. Like, if you have Valverde and Wijnaldum, no need. Just have them both stay back. Don't let yourself get counterattacked and just work the ball into your strikers. But if you have a De Bruyne, a Hullet, if you're doing really well, a Bruno, you can definitely have him on balance. And then our left and right back, similar amount of formation. What I've really been enjoying this year, the stay back while attacking, plus using that step up feature. Catch some people off guard, they try to play it to their wingers, but your step up AI intercepts that and you have the ball back without even doing anything. Make sure you have that on both your fullbacks. I got asked often about my goalkeeper tactics this year. I like to keep it balanced. You can mess around with these, don't think it does a whole lot. What I used to like was the sweeper keeper, and now I don't because I feel like sweeper keeper stands a bit more off his line. Finesse is so crazy. If your goalkeeper standing more off his line, you're gonna concede even more finesses. So please, don't be doing that. Last but not least, we have the ultra attacking because of course my attacking is still my 4-3-3-4 from my other video that I still use. Is the ultra attacking. This is the classic. Well, fly through this. Constant pressure, 50 width, 100 depth. You want to be in that phase, get the ball back as quickly as possible. Build up play, got the fast build up with the forward run. You're just flying. With 50, no need to change that. Plays in the box quite high, but not quite maxed, or you'll have no passing option on the edge of the box. Corner free kicks, track everybody up the pitch, try and score. The instructions are balanced, because remember, it's controlled by the tactics. You don't want to mess at all balanced. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Go to like if you did, subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.